Hi guys, it's girl Mutamz, also known as Gelawa PZ. If you're new to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for 28,000 subscribers. I am so grateful for each and every one of you that has subscribed to my YouTube channel, for each and every person that has supported my YouTube channel, that has watched my videos, that has shared my videos. I am so grateful. So this video is a little bit different. I will just be sharing a testimony about myself and how God has changed my life for the better, and certain things that I believed in God to happen in my life, and they happened simply because I relied on God. And that is why I'm so strong on trying to preach the message of when you pray, God will answer. When you depend on Him, He will answer, because of where I have come from. So I'll start with myself. I was born and raised in Zambia. I was born in 1983 on the 21st of December in a town called Chingola. I was raised by my mother and father in a family of 4 children, and I'm the firstborn. Now, growing up obviously has been good for me. Things were good for me. Things were really good for me. My dad was a pilot. For those of you who know already, my dad was a pilot, worked for Zambia Airways, and life had been good for us, and until Zambia Airways was liquidated in 1994, I believe, when things changed a little bit. But because my dad and my mom raised us in a way that we were not bossy, we were not fussy about food or anything, we still managed life the way it was when things changed. But God changed our lives again. My dad got a job again. He was working, and then he started working in the UK, and I joined him in 2004. So when I came to the UK in 2004, I was about 19, 20 years old, 20 years old, and I wasn't prepared for what I was going to face here. I just thought it's one of those things where my daddy will be paying my rent and I'll be living my life by calling daddy to pay my rent. But I've got my first job working in Marks and Spencer. I was so happy. I did a cleaning job as well. I was handling cash here and there. It was my own pocket money because my dad was still supporting me then. And then when we moved up to 2006, when my dad had to leave the UK, things changed as well for my life, because then he lost his job. The contract with Das Air Cargo was terminated. So the owners of Das Air Cargo, who are a Ugandan couple, lost their contract with Gatwick Airport, and my dad had to stop working for them. He had other offers, but he decided he just wanted to be in Zambia. So in 2006, my dad called me. He said, "Lily, I'm going back to Zambia. Come with me. I'll pay for you to go to Zikas again," because I went to Zikas for about almost 2 years, about a year and a half, and I came over here to study accounting, which was never, ever my plan or my dreams. It was my father's dream. Yes. You know, African parents will tell you, go and study this, go and study that. So then I told my dad, "Daddy, don't you think I've started my life here now? Let me try and see how I can settle down here in the UK." By then I had even visited Zambia back and forth, because I had a son whom I had left in Zambia. So I had visited Zambia, and I had come back and forth. But at that time in 2006, I had faced a challenge where I was trying to renew my visa, and because my father was not here, these guys here were just like, "Oh, your dad is not here, you might as well go back to Zambia." And I said, "I'm not going anywhere. I mean, there should be a reason why God brought me to this land." Sometimes we don't understand purpose. So why would God bring me to the UK? I mean, he just didn't bring me to the UK by mistake. There must be something that he wants me to be doing here in the UK. And it was also through the encouragement of my uncle, Bishop Lucky Simomba. If he never encouraged me to come to the UK, I was never gonna come to the UK. I always wanted to stay in the US. UK has never even been on my agenda, ever. Never, ever. But you see, God had a plan for me here. So 2006, I met somebody from Ghana, had a baby girl, and I had another baby girl. That was in 2008. Had a baby girl and had another baby girl 2009. So during that period, when I was working, the time when my dad said we should go back to Zambia together, I was working for a company called Morrison's. I met a lady from Zimbabwe, and every time I would speak to her, I would always say, all I want is to go to school. Because then I was left on my own, and I was thinking, okay, if I can work a little bit, I can raise money to take myself to school, even though I was still facing the challenge of my visa and everything. And my friend was like, you really want to study here? I was like, yes, all I want is a degree. I will never leave the UK until I get a qualification from here. That is the reason why I came here. So you're like, Lely. Was my former landlord used to call me Lely. When I was a single girl, young, skinny, size 10, I used to stay with an Asian lady who used to call me Lely instead of Lily. You call me Lely. So my friend adapted. Up to today, Bridget always calls me Lely. She can't call me Lily because of my former landlady. So she would say, Lely, why do you like, school so much? I was like, that is all I want to do. That is all I want to do. Years passed. I lost touch with Bridget because I had moved from that particular place where I was staying in a town called High Wycombe. I moved to a town called Reading where the children were born, the two girls. And in 2008, 2008, yeah. Bridget was looking for me. And I'm bad at phone numbers, guys, especially UK phone numbers. I'm horrible. I don't keep a number for long. Because I'll get a pay-as-you-go phone. I'll get tired of the number, or maybe get a contract. I'll get tired of the contract, and I just wash it away. And there's a SIM card. On one particular day, I was looking for some numbers. I was like, I need some numbers in this SIM card. Immediately, this is not a fake story or anything. Immediately, I placed the SIM card. Bridget called me. Lely. I was like, what? I have been trying to call you, looking for you everywhere. By then, Facebook was not so much a big thing, 2008. If you know what I mean. It was not much of a big thing. Lely, I've been looking for you. Have you sorted out your papers? I was like, Bridget, I'm still trying to sort myself. Lely, I really need to see you. And she was like, I'm in Liverpool now, I'm studying. Can you come over? We meet. So that when we meet up, I can tell you how you can sort yourself out, since you have even a child that was born here. I was like, Bridget, are you sure? So we drove to Liverpool with my then partner. We drove to Liverpool, and she told me, try and approach immigration, tell them you need papers, I was like, Bridget, won't they deport me? Won't they do this and that to me? You're like, no, Lillian, just go. So I went in there. Hey. Imagine taking yourself to an immigration office, and by the time you enter, when you enter, the entrance of it, the security there, you're just like, oh God. But I was with the baby, so I was like, this is my passport here. So I went inside, and I was asked a few questions, and they found out who I was, because by then I had even lost my passport. And then, went through whatever procedure that we needed to go through, and I started waiting since 2009. But then I qualified for my undergraduate diploma to study. So when I was studying at this college, whilst I was waiting for an answer from immigration, I came across a scholarship, a bursary of £1,500, which is given to students who apply only if you study at the University of Winchester. And how did I know about the University of Winchester? When a friend of mine from Nigeria told me about Winchester University. I was not even interested in it. That's how I applied to go to University of Winchester, because of that 1,500. After I applied for that £1,500, I received some bad news, basically. They told me that funding was awarded to students that they felt really needed it, because they gave it to all students, whether you are British or not. I was like, what's all this? What's all this, you know? But then, because during the time when I started my undergraduate course, the diploma in social work, I was pregnant, and then I delivered a baby. I didn't even know I was pregnant, and then I delivered a baby. After 2 weeks later, I was in class. So the lecturers, the tutors were so shocked, like, you are so determined. Even my assignments were never late, but I was in labor. My assignments were on time. So they were like, you should be under the midwife care. Why are you here in class? I was like, no, I'm here because I want to achieve this purpose. For me, it was like, my dream has come true. I am finally going to school. And because I had applied for permission to stay under my child, I've got a child and everything, they allowed me to study. Then it was allowed, but after I finished my diploma, it was cancelled. The following year, it was cancelled. You have to wait. So once you wait, you have to wait and wait and wait. When you're given the answer, that's when you can study. If you're not given an answer, you continue waiting. So a lot of people these days are frustrated. All they do is just English and maths whilst they wait for their documents. So I was blessed to go through that situation. So then I approached my tutor, my personal tutor. She knew about my situation and I was still waiting for my papers, and I had been offered a place at university. How was I going to pay £8,700? Even though I was given permission to work in the UK, how was I going to raise so much money? And I had been denied the 1,500. So I called the Helena Kennedy Foundation. I applied for a scholarship, a grant via the University of Winchester for 1,500. What's happening? Why haven't you given it to me? Even when I explained to you guys my situation. And what a lady called Rebecca told me on the phone, it changed my thinking altogether. It just brought tears. It just brought joy to me. She was like, oh, Mutamz, we've actually been working on a pioneering project, which we want you to be the first student to get a full scholarship at the University of Winchester, meaning your fees will be waived off by the university. So we're just coming to that agreement. At the moment, they can only offer one place. If you can attend an interview and you fill in the forms, once they're available, then you will be offered the scholarship, provided you meet our standards. Hey, this was good news to me. What is this I'm hearing? You know how it is, an African woman, you are in the UK, you have 2 children, you have no qualification, and then you want to go to Africa to do what? That's a position where I was. I would rather stay here and work all these donkey jobs, whatever jobs people can call them, menial jobs, than me to go without a qualification. I refused. I will never go to Africa without a qualification, never. So then she told me, look out for your emails. The email might come through, and when that email comes through, make sure you fill in the form as much as you can, and also take it to your tutors to write a reference. My tutors wrote from the head of at that time it was called Thames Valley University, from the head of the Thames Valley University, the principal, to the tutors of psychology, because I did psychology, I did sociology, I did communication studies. All these tutors were just writing beautiful statements about me. About 4 of them, because I had 2 psychology tutors as well. So the male tutor and the female tutor, I always remember her name, the female tutor, she always wanted me to study psychology. I wish I had listened to her. I should have studied psychology, because I was getting distinctions in psychology like crazy. And she was like, the way you even write your assignments, your thought process is so deep. Why don't you do psychology? I was like, psychology, where is it going to take me? I want to do social work so that I should get a job here in UK, you know? So after all the statements and everything, we were in the waiting game. That was 2009. We're waiting. May, June, around June, July, a letter came. I was invited in June. I was invited for an interview. So I went to Winchester. I remember calling my mom, Mommy, I'm there to interview. Then I'm going for my interviews. Oh, Mommy, I'm going to study. I'm going to university. Meanwhile, I had tried to apply for this course and that course and that course. And it was all about money. And I was like, will I ever study? And then I went to the University of Winchester for my interview. I had already been offered a place there to study social work for my bachelor's degree, but no funding, no money. So first thing was welcome. They gave me, took me to a canteen, got me some food, whatever I wanted to eat. I was like, oh, this is good treatment. And then I had my interview. After finishing my interview, I called my mom. I was like, this one I'm getting. And then a few days later, I received a letter